Hey guys, I miss you. I hope you guys are doing well. Keep you busy, staying safe. Um, kind of crazy that this is what our year has turned into. I'm really bummed that we're not going to be able to spend the rest of our year together in class and that we'll have to do this online learning and you get to watch videos of me. But we'll make the most of it. We'll power through. I thought this time though I'd actually try something different for our videos. I know it's not the most engaging for you to sit at home and watch a video with my voice of me doing math. So today I thought I would screencast for you instead. So while you guys are taking notes, my beautiful picture will be in this top corner. Then that way, hopefully it'd be a little bit more engaging for you and interactive like I was in class with you. So we'll try it out this week. We'll see how it goes. And then we'll make adjustments. But like I said, we'll play it by ear. Know that I'm here to support you guys no matter what. So it'll be a fun online class. Today, what we're going to do though is we are going to take a look at our systems one final time. I want to make sure you guys are okay with setting up our word problems, what that looks like, and then how we would solve a problem that was written in a kind of situational model. So today what I'm going to ask you guys to do is go ahead and take out your notebooks for me, follow along. You'll need a pencil, and then if you have a calculator, you might need that as well. So go ahead and take those out for me. All right, so we'll start with an example. And so you guys can write this in your notebook as well. But here is our first example then with our system. So as a reminder, what we're looking to do with system is we're looking to have two equations. Remember, we're looking to have two equations. This one says that the sum of 12x and 4y is 52. And then our second problem then tells us the difference of negative 6x and 6y is negative 24, and to find the value of x and y. So what I want to remind you is that we're always going to be looking for two answers. So that's why here it tells you to find x and to find y. But again, we want to be able to set this up. So we'll go ahead and write our two equations. So the first equation is going to come from that first sentence we see here. And it tells us here that the sum, so sum being adding, the sum of 12x and 14y is, and that word is our equal sign. So they're telling us that it is equal to 52. All right, our second equation then is going to come from this part here, the next part, and it says that the difference, so if you don't remember, you can take a look in your notes, but difference tells us subtraction. So the difference of negative 6x and 6y. And if you guys remember, when you write an equation, you're going to write it as you see it. So we see negative 6x first, so we're going to write that first. Difference, so minus 6y. And then again, that word is telling us equal sign, is equal to negative 24. All right, from there again, remember what's happening is we're solving. Before we get into solving though, again, just make sure that everything lines up. So what I mean by that is that your x's here are lined up, your y's are lined up, your equal signs are lined up, and then also your numbers. And so in this case, everything is lined up, so I am good to go. And so what I'm looking to do next is going to be to cancel out one of those variables, whether x or y. Now, that choice is going to be up to you. If we take a look at our y's though, you're going to see that we have 14 on the top and then negative 6 on the bottom. And what you're doing is you're looking to see, okay, what number can I change them both into? Now, you can change them into a common factor, but for some of you, you might have already saw that 12 and negative 6. I think a lot of us can pretty quickly see that you can change both those numbers into 12. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to cancel out my x's in this problem. All right, so that first problem is actually already the same. So 12x plus 14y is equal to 52. I'm going to keep it the same. The bottom one is what I'm going to change though. And remember, I'm trying to look to see, okay, what can I multiply that negative 6x by so that it's going to cancel out with that 12? And again, a lot of you guys are going to see that it's going to be 2, that I can multiply 6 times 2, and that's going to give me 12. The big thing here is we want to make sure that they're opposite though. So again, remember, it has to be opposite in sign to cancel out. So when I multiply by the 2, it's going to go to every term. So 6 times 2, and watch out, it's a -6, so it's going to become -12x. 2 times -6y is going to be -12y. And then that's going to be equal to 2 times -24, which is going to be -48. All right. So here is what I was talking about, that we have these opposite signs. So +12 and -12, those are going to cancel out. So that is going to be good. From there, we want to remember that this is a giant adding problem though. So you're going to make this adding. So that means I have 14y plus -12y. So that's going to become 2y. Watch your signs. Is equal to 52 plus -48. So when I do the math there, I'm going to end up getting 4. You can always use your calculator too. And then our last step here is going to be to solve for y. So I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. So I'm left with y is equal to 2. So that would be one of my answers here. But again, what I'm going to remind you is what we highlighted at the beginning, is that we want to find the value of x and of y. So we're looking for 2 answers. Now, to find that second answer, remember what you're going to do is you're going to plug it in. You can plug it into your original equation here. You can plug it into the second equation, or you can plug it into your new equation here. You will get the same answer no matter which one. I'm going to go ahead and use the first one just because it has whole numbers, and I think that is a little bit easier to work with. All right, when I do that, what's going to happen is I have this 12x plus 14y is equal to 52. I'm going to take that answer that we just found together. So y is equal to 2, and I'm going to plug that in for y, which is right here. So this becomes 12x plus 14 times 2 is equal to 52. This is going to become 12x plus 28 is equal to 52. All right, and then you guys are going to go ahead and solve. And what happens is it becomes that 2-step equation. Our goal here is going to be to isolate x. So you would subtract 28 from both sides. You would end up getting 12x is equal to, and then you're going to go ahead and do that math. When you do that, you're going to end up getting 4 here and then 2, so 24. Go ahead and isolate x by dividing by 12 on both sides. And you're going to be left with x is equal to 2. So that's going to be your second answer there. So that is the value of x there. Now, when you solve it or write your final answer, you can write it as that ordered pair. Remember, it is x, oops, and then y. So x and y. But again, that's going to be up to you how you choose to solve that problem. All right, guys, we'll take a look at one more example together. Let me go ahead and move this so you can see it so I'm not blocking the screen. All right, here is our second and our final example that we'll do together. So this problem here says that Miss K and Miss B are buying pies for a pie party. It says Miss K purchases 8 apple pies, 10 strawberry pies, and then she spends $148. Miss B purchases 12 apple pies and 5 strawberry pies and spends $162. All right, the problem is asking us to find the cost of an apple pie and then to find the cost of a strawberry pie. So that is actually what I want to point out to you guys right now first, is that read the whole entire question. It's going to be telling you what you're looking for. And so here, remember, we're always going to have an x and y. It says find the cost of an apple pie. So we can say that that's x. And if it helps, we can write it down. So x is equal to the cost or the price of an apple pie. And then it's also asking us to find the cost of a strawberry pie. So that's our other variable, y. And again, if it helps to write down, y is the cost of a strawberry pie. All right, from there, we want to be able to write our equations. And I know that is where some of us are struggling a little bit. So first thing we want to know is that we should be having two equations. So you're going to be looking to write two equations. Um, One thing that's nice is that a lot of times the problems are kind of broken up already for us. And what I mean by that is if you look here, it tells you in this first part, oops, that Miss K, that's me, I purchased 8 apple pies and 10 strawberry pies for $148. So that's the first equation that we're going to go ahead and write. So I've bought 8 apple pies. So I'm going to put 8x though, because it's 8 apple pies times however much I'm spending for each of those pies, plus the 10 strawberry pies, so 10, and then we're going to multiply that by y, because that's how much it costs for each strawberry pie. And that's going to be equal to this $148 that I spend. All right, and so we'll do the same for Miss B's though. So Miss B's here, it says that she purchases 12 apple pies and 5 strawberry pies. So same idea. She has 12 apples, so 12x, because it's 12 pies times the price, plus the 5 strawberries times the price, so times y, is equal to this $162 that Miss B spent on the pies. All right, once you get your two equations, now we can go ahead and solve here. So again, same process though. Make sure that your x's are lined up. Make sure that your y's are lined up. Equal sign is lined up. And then also your numbers here. In this case, they are, so we're good. So the next thing again is going to be to determine, do we want to cancel out x's or do we want to work to eliminate y's? And so in this case, if we look at our x's, we have 8 and 12. And so you could probably say that you can change them both to 24. Same thing though, if we take a look at our y's, I have 10 and 5, and I can change them both to 10. So I'm actually going to go ahead and eliminate the y's here because I do think it is a little bit easier. It's only one step in one equation that has to change. So when I do that, let's go ahead and rewrite this here. The first equation is going to stay the same. So 8x plus 10y is equal to 148. The second equation is the one that's going to have to change though. And so I'm going to have to multiply this. Now, I want to be able to cancel out my y's. And so I need to be able to make this 5 into a 10. So we know that we would multiply by 2 here. But what I want to remind you is it has to be opposite in sign. So currently, both of these problems are positive and positive. We need them opposite, so it has to be positive and negative. So when you multiply here, you should actually be multiplying by a -2 so that it cancels out. And so when we do that, I'm going to have -2 times 12, so -24x. -2 times 5 is going to be -10y. And so here you'll see that they're negative in sign, so that they are going to cancel. And that's going to be equal then to negative. It's going to become 4. It's going to become 12. So 324. Then we're going to go ahead and do some math. So again, make sure that is a big adding problem. This is going to go ahead and cancel. You're going to combine your x's here. So I have an 8x minus a -24x. What that's going to give me then is going to be, hopefully you're following along, this would be a -16x. And then this is going to be equal then to, and so you're going to have to do some math here also. So you have, and be careful here. So if you're doing it in your head, watch your numbers. You would switch it so that the bigger number is on top when you subtract. If you're doing it on your calculator, that is fine too. But what you should end up getting is 176 here. And you are going to make sure that it is negative. So again, watch those signs. Then last step, you're going to go ahead and solve for x. Again, watch your signs here. You are dividing by a -16 so that it cancels out. So -16 and -16 cancel. And then you're going to go ahead and do that on this side also. All right, when you do that, you end up with a +11. All right, and then again, go back to your problem though. So when we solve this, x is 11. What that tells us is that x is the cost of an apple pie. So that means that x is $11. So each apple pie costs $11. All right, same concept though. We do want to make sure that we are solving for both terms, the x and the y. So you're going to go ahead and plug that back in. For this problem, I'm going to go ahead and this time use this second equation right here. So that's 12x plus 5y is equal to $162. You would go ahead and solve. So 12 times 11 plus 5y is equal to 162. Again, you would have to do some math, whether you are doing it on your head, you are using a calculator. So 12 times 11 is going to be 132 plus 5y is equal to 162. All right, just like before, we are setting up our equation and we are going to be solving. It is a two-step equation, so we do need to get y by itself. Remember, y does not move though, y is going to stay. So that means you need to move the 132 and you're going to do the opposite, so subtract. All right, we're left with 5y is equal to 30. When you solve here, y is equal to 6. And then what this is referring to then again is the price of a strawberry pie. So a strawberry pie cost $6. All right, so the last thing though that I do want to talk about is when we first had a problem like this, go back to the original here. We talked a little bit about money plus money equaling money. Now, in this case, when you set this up, please note, this is the number of pies. It was 8 apple pies plus 10 strawberry pies equals $148. Now, money plus money should still equal money. The reason why it doesn't in this case is go ahead and take a look at what we said that X was here though. We said X was the money or the cost for an apple pie. So in this case, it's still the cost of an apple pie plus the cost of a strawberry pie should equal some sort of cost. So it is still true here. Money plus money still equals money, but it's because our variables are a little bit different in this problem. So just keep that in mind. So hopefully this makes sense. If not, remember, check out the Zoom tomorrow. I will be online and I'll post the link on the Google Classroom for you. But again, just make sure that you're following along. Take the notes down in your notebook. Do the homework and then ask questions. Next week, we will be taking our quiz on systems. So that is our graphing method. So that's when we graph the two lines and we're trying to see where do they intersect. And then also now our elimination, and then today with our word problems. So try that out, guys, and then let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, I will see you guys soon. I miss you. I hope you guys are staying busy, keeping safe, and again, I will see you online next time. All right, bye guys.